On June 10, 1912, Villisca, Iowa, woke to an unsettling silence. The Moore house on East 2nd Street was still. No laughter, no breakfast sounds, no children playing. Neighbors grew uneasy as the hours passed. Mary Peckham, a neighbor, knocked on the door. No answer. She called Ross Moore, Josiah's brother, who arrived with a key. What they found inside shattered the town's peace forever. The Moore family and two young guests had been brutally murdered in their sleep. The crime was shocking for its brutality, and for where it happened. Villisca was a place where doors were left unlocked, where everyone knew each other. News spread quickly, and the town gathered in disbelief. The sense of safety was gone, replaced by fear and confusion. The question echoed, who could have done this and why? The Villisca Axe Murders became one of America's most infamous unsolved crimes. The killer was never caught. The motive, never proven. The story remains a puzzle with too many missing pieces. It's a deep dive into a dark night in a small town, a search for the reasons behind an act of pure evil. We'll look at the people involved, the evidence left behind, and the theories that have tried to explain what happened in that silent house. This is not just a story of loss, but of a community forever changed. The silence that fell over Villisca that morning still lingers today. The mystery endures, haunting the town and all who hear its story. What happened in Villisca is more than a crime. It's a legend, and it all began with a silence no one could explain. The victims were the heart of Villisca. Josiah "Joe" Moore, a respected businessman, and his wife Sarah were pillars of the community. Their four children, Herman, Catherine, Boyd, and Paul, were lively, well-liked, and always seen around town. On the night of the murders, two friends, Lena and Ina Stillinger, stayed over after a church event. The evening was filled with laughter, songs, and a sense of safety. After the program, the families walked home together, unaware of the horror awaiting them. They had milk and cookies before bed, a simple, happy end to a good day. Sometime that night, a killer entered their home. 8 lives were lost in a single, unimaginable act. The Moore family represented the town's stability and hope. The Stillinger girls were innocent guests, caught in a nightmare. The loss devastated Villisca, shattering its sense of innocence. The tragedy was not just the loss of a family, but the loss of trust and safety for the entire community. The memory of the victims is forever tied to the house on East 2nd Street. Their story is a reminder of lives cut short by a faceless evil. The town mourned and still mourns the family and friends taken that night. The Moore and Stillinger names became symbols of a tragedy that would never be forgotten. Their legacy is not just in how they died, but in how they lived, at the heart of a close-knit town. The house stands as a silent witness to their final night. Ross Moore's discovery triggered a frantic investigation. The crime scene was gruesome, all 8 victims killed with Josiah's own axe as they slept. The killer left bizarre clues: mirrors covered, a plate of uneaten food, a bowl of bloody water. The axe was found wiped clean, and strange items like a slab of bacon were left behind. Investigators believed the killer hid in the attic, waiting for the family to fall asleep. But the investigation quickly spiraled into chaos. Townspeople flooded the house, contaminating evidence. Key clues, like a mysterious keychain in the bacon, remained unexplained. The killer's methodical, ritualistic behavior only deepened the mystery. With the crime scene compromised, the search for answers became nearly impossible. The investigation began with more questions than answers, and the trail quickly grew cold. Suspicion swept through Villisca, and several suspects emerged. Frank F. Jones, a powerful state senator and Josiah's business rival, was rumored to have a motive: business jealousy and a possible family scandal. Some believed Jones hired a killer to eliminate Moore. Reverend George Kelly, a traveling minister, was another suspect. He attended the church event that night, left town early, and later confessed, though his confession was inconsistent and he was acquitted. William Blackie Mansfield, a suspected serial killer, was linked to similar axe murders but had an alibi. Andy Sawyer, a transient, acted suspiciously and allegedly confessed, but was dismissed as a credible suspect. Each lead fizzled, leaving only rumors and speculation. Theories ranged from personal vendetta to random violence. No one was ever convicted. The true identity of the killer remains a mystery. The town was left with only shadows and suspicion. What drove the killer? Theories abound. Personal revenge points to Frank Jones, business rivalry, and a rumored affair. Some believe a serial killer was responsible, moving from town to town, leaving similar scenes of horror. Others suspect religious fanaticism, with Reverend Kelly's strange behavior and obsession with sin. The ritualistic details, covered mirrors, washed hands, hint at a disturbed mind. Robbery was considered, but nothing valuable was taken. Each motive fits some facts, but none explain everything. The killer's true reason remains hidden. The case is a tangle of motives, but no clear answers. The Villisca case remains unsolved, largely due to a botched investigation. The crime scene was trampled by townspeople before evidence could be preserved. Law enforcement agencies clashed, and leads were mishandled. Suspects were pursued based on rumor, not fact. Reverend Kelly's trial ended in acquittal, and the case lost momentum. The killer's motive, whether personal, random, or ritualistic, remains elusive. The mix of careful planning and bizarre behavior defies explanation. Without answers, the story became legend. The house stands as a monument to the unknown. The mystery endures, haunting Villisca and all who seek the truth. More than a century later, the question remains: what drove the killer? Was it revenge, a random predator, or a mind lost to delusion? The ritualistic crime scene suggests a logic we may never understand. The killer vanished, leaving only questions and fear. The Villisca Axe Murders endure as a chilling American legend. Sometimes there are no answers, only the darkness left behind. The silence of that morning still echoes, a mystery that refuses to die.